Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everything in between. Welcome to video 4, where I again continue my reading of Sun Tzu's The Art of War in developing my voice. Alright, let's see, it is June 22nd, 2011, and video number 4, I'm just going to keep working on developing the pitch right here. Those who are attempting this process, it's a very slow, methodical process. It takes a long time, which is why we have a nice long book, which probably by using for this we're probably making Sun Tzu spin in his grave a little bit, but whatever, it's all good. Let's see, go along. We left off with about to read the quote by, we're still in the introduction of the book. We're reading the quote by Mr. Ye Shushin. Again, I will butcher these names completely, but it is what it is. So these video series, oh, by the way, I'm Danielle. These video series, I'm just developing my voice. I'm just here to make a fool of myself, slowly get better, and hopefully I'll improve in time. But, we'll see. Alright, so, always get a drink of water before you practice. Alright, so, resonance, voices, and learning the art of war. Because I'm going to go join the army after this, definitely. Alright, okay, let's see. So the quote by Ye Shushin. Okay.
Get that pitch right there. Right here, right here, right here. Okay. It is stated in Sun Tzu's history that Sun Tzu was a native of Qi State, and employed by Wu, and that in the reign of Holu he crossed Chu, entered Ying, and was a great general. But in Tzu's commentary on Sun Wu, no Sun Wu appears at all. It is true that the Tzu's commentary need not contain absolutely everything that other histories contain, but Tzu has not omitted to mention the vulgar plebeians and hireling ruffians such as Ying Kwa Shu, Cao Qiu, Chu Chi Wu, Chuan Shi Chu, and Xian Shi Chu. In the case of Sun Wu, whose fame and achievements were so brilliant, the omission is much glaring. Again, details are given in their due order about his contemporaries, Wu Yan and Minister Pei, Pei, compound, whatever. Is it credible that Sun Wu alone should have been passed over? In point of literary style, Sun Tzu's work belongs to the same school as Quan Tzu, Li Tiao, and Ye Wu. It may have been the production of some private scholar living towards the end of the spring and autumn, or in the beginning of the Warring States period. That's some Chinese history right there. The story that his precepts were actually applied by the Wu state is merely the outcome of big talk on the part of his followers. From the flourishing period of the Zhao dynasty down to the time of the spring and autumn, all military commanders were statesmen as well, and the class of professional generals for conducting external campaigns did not then exist. It was not until the period of the 6 states that this custom changed. Now, although Wu was an uncivilized state, it is conceivable that Tzu should have left unrecorded the fact. It is conceivable that Tzu should have left unrecorded the fact that Sun Wu was such a great general and yet held no civil office. What we are told, therefore, about Jiang, Chu, and Sun Wu is not authentic matter, but the reckless fabrication of theorizing pundits. The story of Holu's experiment on the women, in particular, is utterly preposterous and incredible. Incredible. And that is the quote by Mr. Ye Shushin. Chinese names, I don't know. presents the Sima Qian as having said that Sun Wu crushed Chu and entered Ying. This is not quite correct. No doubt the impression left on the reader's mind is that he at least shared in these exploits. The fact may or may not be significant, but it is nowhere explicitly stated in the Shiqi either that Sun Tzu was general on the occasion of the taking of Yin, or that he even went there at all. Moreover, as we know that Wu Yan and Po Pei both took part in the expedition, and also that its success was largely due to the dash and enterprise of Fu Kai, Ho Lu's younger brother, it is not easy to see how yet another general could have played a very prominent part in the same campaign. Hu Qinshin of the Song dynasty has the note. Military writers look upon Sun Wu as the father of their art, but the fact that he does not appear in the Cao Chuan, although he is said to have served under Ho Lu, king of Wu, makes it uncertain what period he really belonged to. He also said the period of Sun Wu and Wu Qi may be of genuine antiquity. It is noticeable that both Ye Shuchuan and Shen Sun are rejecting the personality of Sun Wu as he figures in Sima Qian's history, are inclined to accept the date traditionally assigned to the work book which passes under his name. The authority of Husu Lu fails to appreciate this distinction. Consequently, his bitter attack on Chen Sun really misses its mark. He makes one of 2 points, however, which certainly tell in favor of the high integrity of our 13 chapters. Sun Tzu, he said, must have lived in the age of Qin Wen, 519 to 477 before the Common Era, because he has frequently plagiarized in subsequent works of the Chu, Jin, and Han dynasties. The two most shameless offenders in this respect are Wu Qi and Huiyan Tzu, both of them important historical past personages in their day. The former lived only a century after the alleged date of Sun Tzu, and his death is known to have taken place in 381 BC. It was to him, according to Lu Hixiang, that Chen delivered the Cao Chuan, which had been entrusted to him by its author. Now the fact that the quotations from the Art of War, acknowledged or otherwise, are to be found in so many authors of different epochs, establishes a very strong interior to them all. In other words, that Sun Tzu's treatise was already in existence towards the end of the 5th century BC. Further proof of Sun Tzu's integrity is furnished by the archaic or wholly obsolete meanings attached to the number of words that he uses. A list of these, which might perhaps be extended, is given in Sulu. I don't know. And although some of the interpretations are doubtful, the main argument is hardly thereby affected. Again, it must not be forgotten that Ye Xuan, a scholar and critic of the first rank, deliberately pronounced the style of the 13 chapters to belong to the early period of the 5th century, seeing that he is actually engaged in an attempt to disprove the existence of Sun Wu himself. You may be sure that he would not have hesitated to assign the work to a later date had he not honestly believed the contrary. It is precisely on such a point that the judgment of an educated Chinaman, I'm not sure if that's politically correct, whatever, educated Chinaman, will carry most weight. Other internal evidence is not far to seek. Thus, in Chapter 13, Section 1, there is an unmistakable allusion to the ancient system of land tenure, which had already passed away by the time of Mencius, who was anxious to see it revived in a modified form. The only warfare Sun Tzu known is that carried on between the various feudal princes, in which armored chariots played a large part. Their use seems to have died out. It seems to have entirely died out before the end of the Chao dynasty. Chao dynasty. He speaks of men of Wu as they would cease to exist as early as 473 BC. On this I shall touch presently.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everything between, that is the end for today. We shall continue tomorrow, as always, and we'll continue our little journey here, and continue developing, continuing learning a bit about ancient Chinese feudal warfare. Well, when you get to the actual book itself, we're still in the introduction, which we will for some time, but we'll get there. As for that, that's about it. I'll continue practicing on the videos here. Put some comments if you give any tips or have any suggestions. And that's about it. And as always, you can find the text on Project Gutenberg. And good night and good luck.